Suzanne. Suzanne.
Yes. I'm so glad that we brought her on. And I'm so glad that we had her break down what caregiver warrior was, because I know I was in a state of confusion. Like, I want to know, what's the T behind this word? Caregiver warrior. Are we always in battle?
We were definitely suspicious and I was a little bit angry. But I told you my story of when I first saw her, I really resonated with it just because of, I was like literally in the trenches and I was like, yes, like I am a warrior. And, you know, also caring for a veteran and him being in service in warlike situations. I was like, yes, I'm doing my part. Like that whole like, you know, like that whole thing. So that's what resonated with me. And now that I'm not caring in that way, it still feels that way, but obviously different. So I love that we were able to break that down in a way that makes sense for everybody and everybody's journey.
Yeah, exactly. In everyone's journey. And I also appreciate that there really are layers of the caregiver warrior. Initially, it does feel like a battlefield, like, yo, we going through it. Okay. We're in the trenches. But I also like that she presented that it's also an inner war, an inner battle that's happening, and it's a fight against what we once normalized from our society or our culture, and now how we are internalizing and creating our own inner critic and self-judgment. I love how she was able to share how to avoid judging ourselves, how to practice more grace.
Do you want to share? Because I'll share one. Something that you judge yourself for? Because I remember I could say one.
You go first.
Okay. One of the big ones is that I'm not doing enough. Like that was something that I constantly told myself, is that I'm not doing enough. I definitely made it my, not goal, but my responsibility to fill the time in the things. I needed to fill the space, which is very draining, not sustainable. Don't recommend it. But it's something that I had to do with my kids, to entertain them, to educate them, to do the things. And it was very easy for me to try and do that with the adults that I was taking care of, not recognizing that like they're adults. You know, and like they have also been caregivers potentially, like they had kids and they know this game, so it's not necessary. But like that was something that I definitely judged myself of, like feeling like I had to fill the space with things for them, or set up the play dates, or the, you know, time with the family, or making sure that they're calling people back and that they're still engaging with life, where, you know, when at the time they were not.
Yeah, I feel you with that. I think that used to be something that I struggled with when I was transitioning out of being a caregiver for so long. I had caregiver PTSD with my friends at the time, and I just felt like I needed to help take care of them. And it's like, well, I can fill this space up for you. And I see that there's a gap there in your life. I got you. But I don't do that anymore. And I also don't have friends. So there it is. But anyway, no, problem solved. I was going to say, the one thing that I judge myself on, that I'm still working on myself with, is that I feel, this is a very strong word that I'm going to use on myself, but I don't have another word. But I feel like I'm a bully when it comes to encouraging people. I feel like I'm too forceful, but you know, I can't help it. I'm a fire sign. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm about that life, okay? And I see not just the potential in people, but I see people. I see you as you are. So when I hear someone like the Gemini, when he'll say things about himself, like how he made a mistake, he didn't realize the mail was for UPS and not USPS, and then he'll start saying things like, man, I should have caught that. Oh man, I can't even believe I messed that up. Relax, relájate, okay, and just, you'll get it right next time, you know? But I feel like I'm too forceful with that, and I'm trying to be more conscientious of my tone and how much energy I'm putting with it, because I feel like it could also keep people away from me because they don't want that type of force.
Yeah, I can understand that. I feel like that is something not just you, but I think that caregivers have the ability to do. We have the ability to have like a wide lens, narrow focus on certain things where we can observe and see things that other people can't. And when you point it out, either people are going to acknowledge it, maybe do better or whatever, or they're going to completely reject it and cuss you out. So, so I think it's one of those things where if they're not willing to look in the mirror, then yeah, it's really hard to, do that.
It is. And you know what I've learned though, through therapy and my own practice, is that you can't care for someone who can care for themselves, and you shouldn't. If that person can care for themselves, whether it means that they can mentally care for themselves, they can emotionally care for themselves, you need to let them. Yeah. And also, you can only control you. So I constantly tell myself, like this morning is when it happened with the Gemini and the male. And I'm like, what's the big deal? Relax. And he was going on and on and on and on. You didn't catch it either. Don't put me in the mix. Okay. I'm over here in my peace. Leave me alone. But I had to say it to myself, Nick, you can't control this man. You can control your response though. So you just let him know, hey, I'm sorry that happened. Bye. That's it.
Yeah. Being the energy of calmness and that it's not a big deal is also very powerful. There was many times where when I was caring for somebody and giving them my advice or giving them this new knowledge that I learned that would help them, sometimes I had to be the example and like do the things so that they could see it and see that there's a change and like, do all those things. And then other times it's like, but at the same time, it's like, you already heard me. I know you heard me. I know you know the information. You can't unhear it. So now you have an actual decision to make whether you want to try it or not. And I'm here to support you either way, but understand that there are going to be consequences if you don't hydrate. There's going to be consequences, if you don't eat right. And, I'm obviously happy to help you. You're going to have to ask for it. I can't continue to just push things down your throat because that's not good for anybody.
It's not. And these are choices. And I had to learn also that I am not an extension of this person. Just because they make a choice, right? That's the opposite of the good advice I just sat down here and gave you. Doesn't mean that I made that choice. I didn't make that choice. You did.
Yeah.
I am not an extension of someone else's repercussions. I bet you I'm not.
No. And I'm not going to follow your lead either. I'm going to do the exact opposite. Yeah.
Period. Okay. And that also can be a battle. But again, that's why I really like what Susanne was breaking down, the caregiver warrior. It's beyond it. There are so many layers to it. It is when you initially start caring for someone, it feels like a battle. You got to learn so many things on your own. You got to learn what this disease is, what our new lifestyle is going to be like. How are we going to get along? Did we ever get along? Oh my God. And then once that's kind of done, then you got to think about your own battle. Like, damn, my life should have been different. Or work is stressing me out. And I got these kids. And I got some other stuff. And my friends want to take me out. And this man and this woman. Like, it's so many different layers.
Absolutely. I thought it was really great that she expressed how her openness to change during her journey with caring for her mother not only opened up a space where they could connect, but also resonated throughout the rest of basically her relationships, it seems like, with her father and everybody else. So I thought that was really great. And I also really appreciated that she said that even in her new caregiver journey, she is still having to learn. She is still having to, so I think that was really important to know that, like, there is no end, like she said, to this. There is a healing journey that will continue, and I'm sure she will be triggered, but like she has new tools to help combat all of that. And because this is a forever changing field, there's going to be new technology and there's going to be new things that are going to help us to show up in different ways and communicate in different ways. And I'm thankful to know that it's like a forever thing. I knew we always have to learn, but like,
yeah, I like that. And I feel like it's almost a softening because we have all of this different tech or tools that we could use. It makes me feel okay with it being an ongoing healing process. Okay. It's going to be fine. Yeah. We're not doing it solo dolo. We have help.
Yeah.
Resources.
recovery time is changing too. I mean, I know we talked about that in the episode, but like, we talk about how we recover from a setback. And even in our recovery time, I think it is actually faster. I do believe that. It's not fast enough.
I think so. Yeah, me too. I totally
but it
agree.
is faster.
I think so. I think perspective also, because, who are we listening to and how are we judging?
Yeah, who are we comparing to and all of those things? That's just not fair.
What's going on?
Yeah.
All right. I actually think it is faster.
Yeah.
The speed is outrageous.
Yes.
And if we did compare it to caregivers of old, I don't mean old caregivers. I just mean, like 40 years ago, what was the care journey looking like? And now comparing it to that, it's a lot faster. We got more access to medication, more access to resources, social activities, work, help along the way with the doctors, neurologists, and all the other different services, whether you're a veteran or whether you do have someone who has a cognitive disability. There's so many more resources out there, if not from the administration of the doctors and the healthcare. There is social media and all those care influencers.
Absolutely.
I mean, the caregivers there, we're getting a lot more information much faster.
Yes. And with different situational things. So, I mean, you could find your dementia care, you could find your diabetes care, you could find your glucose care, you could find, the niche markets within the caregiver journey, or caring for your parents, or caring for your child, or caring for, whatever the specific disease is. And I think that's really great that we could find community within that, as well as the resources that come along with that. Like, there's some people I'm following that, like, there's companies that I follow that where they just make ADL stuff. So like they have the Hoyer lifts, they have like, the sprained ankle, like all the things that you would need for recovery. Like that, like they're out there, like you could find them.
Wow.
And it's not having to go through potentially the healthcare system, which I don't know if we talked about. But yeah, no, that's like a whole, when my mom had her surgery, she has to lay down. She had a retina surgery. So she has to lay down. She had to lay down for 7 days on her belly. And so we had to get that massage head rest, and we put it in her bed. The way the system is set up right now, you would think kind of like pharmaceuticals, you would get a write out to get the machines or whatever that you need. You have to go, they give you like the number, so you have to do the work to find it out. It costs like something ridiculous, like $200, right? Just to rent it.
Stop it. Stop.
My mom went on that app we don't talk about, got it for half the price, and it's hers.
But you know what? She got it for half the price. Thank God. Right. Oh, wow. Well, how's your mom now? She's okay.
She's great.
Now.
Yeah, she's great. She's still technically in recovery. She's got to get eye drops every 4 hours. So far so good. She's able to drive. There's still more surgery left. She's got to do cataract surgery at a certain point, but we have to wait for that. But other than that, I mean,
wow.
That she could see. She never was able to see color. I'm really hoping, weirdly, that like they do something in there where she could see color. That would be great. But
I mean, we're in the future. Anything can happen at this point. Your mom's a warrior, because that's a lot.
It is. Yeah. She did a really great job. She's like, it was torture, because she had to keep her head down for 7 days, not just lay down on her belly. She had to keep her head down for 7 days.
I thought she was going to say it was torture for the surgery, because I would have felt terrified.
Surgery was quick. Surgery was like the least. And that's, again, where I think that comes in too, is surgery is so great that
faster, right?
Now it's the recovery time that's hard. But even still, I think she's on the lighter side of that retina surgery. It could even be longer. She could have been laying down for longer. So, wow.
And Susanne was talking about that too with recovery, because she had her brain surgery, which is, that's huge. That's the big surgery.
Yep.
But she was talking about how she wanted that recovery to be fast, and yeah, where is the rush? But I get it. We are in this society where it's normalized to be fast. You got to be in a rush. Even if you're sitting down in traffic, who out here is just like, come on, honking that horn, or just tempted to honk it. Let's go. Where are you going?
It's the most unfun part of the journey. And I know people say like that, I mean, we're talking about journeys here, but it's like, that's the part you don't see. It's the part that we don't necessarily share. It's not really recording friendly to see you in recovery. It's just, you want to see the surgery and you want to see the results at the end of it. So you don't see the middle, like that's not fun.
So we're talking highlights, is what
montage with some good 80s music in the background, like that's how we have to present it, I think, to make it But even then, it's like we also know there's not montage in the back while we're laying on our belly. Like that's not how it feels, you
That's
know?
how it feels. And you know what? Sometimes that dopamine needs to just, you gotta humble it. You can't always have dopamine every day. Relax. I mean, I guess you can, but it shouldn't be every minute of the day.
No, it's not. That's not normal. I mean, as much as
It's not.
nice
And it's
and
not
fun as it is.
sustainable. It's
No.
not sustainable. And then also it's gonna lose its luster the more you keep it happening all the time. It's gotta, you have to have balance with that. So I get it. I'm about that highlight life too, but at the same time, healing process will humble you. The healing process will slow you down and it will allow you to digest what just happened, process what just happened, let it marinate what just happened. We're talking about food, right? Okay. All right. Well, okay. Let it marinate. It's safer that way. Okay. Oh,
yeah. Tender. Flavorful. Yeah.
Juicier. Okay.
Okay. Well, great. Happy hour after hour.
Hours. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye.